Hello and welcome back to BBSN. This is Anthony and we are here for part 2 of the Gulf Oil 500 held from Gulf Coast Motor Speedway, and we picked the action up on lap number 18, and our current leader is Marlon McGarry, followed by Stu Urick in second place, Julie Justice in third, Cam Croyle in fourth, and Trevor Trostel winds out the top 5. So lap number 18 is going to be top group, and that's going to be a heat check. And again, heat, special note for this track, on the final 4 turns use TV, which obviously we're not close to that. So Brooks Bilovich, he'll go first, going after Marlon McGarry. And McGarry does not have the heat trait, so he just has the brake burst and the 2 brake burst bonus, so 4 or more on the blue die will be required. And Bilovich, he's going to get that and vault into the lead. So McGarry, he leads exactly 1 lap, and we will have a new leader from lap 19 forward. And going down next, come up to Cam Croyle, and Croyle had the pole position, led for the first 11 laps in this race. And Croyle is going to pass, and here he will not pass though on the challenge, as Bilovich has control, a brake burst, and the 2 bonus, so it's going to take 5 on the blue die. Down to Julie Justice, and Justice does not, and that does it. So turn 18 in the books. And we have a new leader, the 95 car, Brooks Bilovich. And I believe that is the first lap, or this is the first lap that he has led this race season. So on to the 19th lap, and we go to the second group, 3 and a 9 reflex check. So we'll start this off with Gary Pine, and Pine puts it to the floor. And he has his eyes set on Craig Greco in the 5th spot in the first group. Passes the gas pedal check, and Greco, he does not have reflex, so just the 2 to defend, and Pine is going to move up into the first group into 6th place. And Pine had a rough start to the season, as he was embroiled in a feud with the veteran Ralph Roach that knocked him out of that first race. They have since put their differences aside. And Pine is running good so far in the Gulf Oil 500. Kevin Pettis does not pass the gas check. And down to Joey Plonka. And Plonka is going to take, unfortunately, more than a 2 to unseat, actually, no. Yeah, Pine does have a 2, so he defends on that. And Sean Hashhagen. Hashhagen has a performance chip. He does not pass the gas pedal check, but he's going to use his chip and move up to supplant Marlon McGarry in 7th place in the top group. Wayne Montana goes next, and we are all performance chips now, so everyone with a reflex quality will have the opportunity to move up. And going for the 6th spot, Hashhagen, and Montana, he's going to get to keep his performance chip and move up into 7th place. So Hashhagen, his lead is short-lived, as Montana takes advantage of a lapse in concentration to move up. And next we have Greg Carl. And Carl does not pass the gas pedal check or the blue die, but he has the performance chip, and he's got his eyes set on Stu Urick, and he's going to vault up and jump into 2nd place. And Carl Snook, and Snook also has to use his performance chip, but he is dueling with Greg Carl, and Carl's time up in the top group will be very short-lived. Monica Merrick does not have it, nor does Jordy Pettis, so that resolves the 19th lap. And a couple of new members in our top 5, Clark Snook and Gary Pine and Wayne Montana. So turnover of nearly half the group on that lap, and we go to lap 20. And 2 is going to be the first group, a reflex check again. So Montana with the performance chip, and Bilovich is not going to be our leader for long, as Montana does not pass the check, but he's going to use his performance chip and take over first place. So Bilovich back to 7th, and a lot of action up top here, to the delight of the race fans in attendance. And to pass Montana on a reflex check is going to take a roll of 5 or more on the blue die. So Gary Pine, and Pine does not. Trevor Trostel. Trostel does not. And everyone has reflex up in the top group. Holding off Cam Croyle. Julie Justice up next. Justice is held off. And finally Clark Snook. And Snook is held off. So Montana takes over first place and then fights off the challenges of everybody in the top group as we move into lap number 21. And the 99 car, he had a good outing last week, and he is repeating that. Though still early in the race, and we go to the third group, and this is going to be the TV quality. And I do not think we have more than a couple of TV drivers back there. So first one will be Kerry Cacchiola. And Cacchiola looking to move back up into the top group. And going for the second spot, odd position, that's going to be Stu Urich. And Urich has the 2 brake burst, and a 5 is going to get it done. So Kerry Cacchiola back up with the second group. And that might be the last TV driver, or the only TV driver we have in the third group. Yeah, we only had 6 for the race, and they're all on the board, so that resolves that. And on to lap 22 we go. So Cacchiola need to string together consecutive weeks of good performances, and 11 is going to be a trouble check for the third group, and things could get ugly and interesting here. So here we go. And starting at the back, Fenstermacher in his first race of the year. He is collected. Vic Holder is collected. And this is going to get ugly, I have a feeling. Thus far, the most cars we have lost in the race is 6, and that was in the Ice Brew 600 held at Northern Lights Motor Dome, aka Minnesota Wrecking Yard. And a 9, and Kendrick escapes. Billy Brett needs a 7, and the Alabama Badass is collected and corrected. Mo needs an 8, he's good. One thing, this could be a good opportunity for some of these drivers to who are down in the standings, and Pleasant is okay, to pick up some points. And Schrupp is collected, and he's probably going to go out. He does not have a very good pit crew. Jeff Daly Jr., he survives. So 4 cars caught in the mosh, and we're going to have 2 turns of yellow based on that. 10, Jason Leonard joins the list. Parnell Drake, he gets out of it. Evan Utek and Utek. So 6 cars up in the mosh pit. And like I said, this is going to be ugly. And again, a reminder, the repair adjustment on this is -1 for the Gulf Coast Motor Speedway. So that will definitely have an effect as we start to roll for repairs here. Petrosky's okay. Pete McAtee needs a 10 or less. And McAtee survives. The rookie, Justin Mahler, and Mahler's good. Chris Wynn, who has seen his skills deteriorate a little bit over the last couple of seasons. Ray Bob Walker survives. Denny Baker. Baker joins the group. So 7 cars caught up thus far. Kurt Bryson, he survives. Lonnie Lane looking to avoid the damage. He swerves, cannot. He's collected. And Tom Rossi needs a 9. He's got it. Stu Urich, who just joined this group, and he's okay. Austin Bigler, only a 12 gets him, and he rolls a 12. Looks like he was out of danger, but at the last minute, clipped a fender there, and he's up in the mix. So Aaron Hartley, young protege of Dick Exum, and he survives. And finally, KJ Nakashima, and Nakashima's good. So we have 9 cars caught up in the trouble here, and let's roll for repairs, and again a -1. And we are in the middle third of the race, which makes it even a bit more difficult. So we'll be going off the second column here, starting with Fenstermacher, and he is a B. So he needs a 7 or less, and Fenstermacher just gets it to the back of the pack. Vic Holder also needs a 7 or less, and Holder is done. So number 4 car is the first one out. Billy Brett has a D. He's going to need a 5 or better. And Brett is done. The Alabama Badass joins Holder as the second driver out of the race. And poor Donnie Schrupp, he needs a 4, and it's going to take a miracle, which is not forthcoming. Schrupp is done. So the 49 car in his first qualifying effort lasts about halfway into the race. And Leonard, a C, needed a 6 or better. He is done. Evan Utek is a B, and he's going to need a 7. Utek is done. So it looks like we are going to potentially break our record for most cars lost in the race. And D, Denny Baker, needed a 5. He gets a 4, so Baker survives. Lonnie Lane needs a 7 or better, and Lane is collected, so we have tied the record. And will Bigler break it? He needs a 7 or better, and he is good. So 6 cars are finished here. So in last place will be Vic Holder. Billy Brett in 42nd place. Donnie Schrupp, at least he gets points. Jason Leonard, Utek, and Lonnie Lane will finish in 38th place. So thank you for coming, gentlemen. Your parting gift is in the pits. And we will move on now with 37 cars left in the race, and we will be under caution for 2 turns. That takes us up through turn 23 and 24 and on to turn 25. And we were not within 3 stops of a pit at the time that trouble occurred, so Wayne Montana could not call for an early pit there. We will pit next turn after this, though. So turn 25 is a 1 and a 12, and that is a problem. And the doubles will be a double problem check. So first off, we'll go to the problem finder chart. And we will roll for the doubles first, so 2 problems in the first group potentially. And 35. And top group is going to be a 3. So Cam Croyle is 1. And 22 doubles is our race leader. All right, so Croyle on the problem chart, and he has an A pit rating, so he will need an 8 or better, again the -1. So Croyle is finished. Or actually, hold on. I did not roll for the problem. Glad I caught that. And Croyle's problem, 25. 25 is going to be a cooling problem, roll for repair, not cooking problem, as we had in our last race. The scrambled eggs caper. So he gets a second life there, and with an A, he is going to pass and stay in the race. And again, house rule, actually I did read on this, so this should be correct. Because of the problem that caused a pit, so he's going to go actually to the back of the pack. Our race leader, Wayne Montana now. And 62 is going to be a clutch problem, roll for repair. And Montana also an A, so he needs an 8 or better. And he gets it, but he is relegated to the back of the pack. So again, since no yellow, we will have to pass the gas pedal check. First off in the first group, Snook moves up to take the lead. Justice into second, Trostel to third, Gary Pine up to fourth, and Bilovich up into fifth place. Now we will have to roll to advance, or to fill in the gaps. Going for sixth place, Jordy Pettis. And Pettis survives and gets to keep his performance chip. Monica Merrick, and she has 2 chips and will keep them both. So this could come into play big time up in this top group. Everyone else in the second group moves up. And filling the gap in the bottom group, we'll start with KJ Nakashima. He needs a 3 or better. No. Aaron Hartley a 4. No. Stu Urich a 4. He's got it. So he gets 18th spot. And Tom Rossi a 3. And Rossi will join the middle group. So misfortune strikes our leaders. And we are heading into lap number 26 here. And that's going to be second group. 11 is going to be trouble. So this is not the Minnesota wrecking yard, but it's acting like it right now. And again, if 6 drivers are collected here in this trouble roll, we will move on to the last group. So potentially we are going to break our record of 6 for drivers knocked out of the race, starting with Greg Carl. And he is collected. Cacchiola is collected. Hashhagen manages to hang on. Marlon McGarry hangs on. Joey Plonka, he's good. Sonny Swain, she is barely good. Kevin Pettis, and Pettis is collected. Would be his second race in a row getting knocked out. Chuck DeFaro barely hangs on. Craig Greco is good. Corey Wallace should be good. He is, as should Stu Urich. And finally, Tom Rossi needs a 9, and Rossi's good. So now on the trouble chart, we go to the pit crew and see, and again, -1, so 6 or better, and Greg Carl is done. So the 21 car finishes 37th and is our 7th driver to bow out of the race. A B rating for Cacchiola. And he would have needed a 7. Cacchiola is done. So the 2 car finishes in 36th place. And finally, Kevin Pettis with a B also needs a 7. And Pettis is going to survive and go to the back. So we will have another turn under yellow, and that will be the pit turn. So in that scenario, we will do our normal pit action. And first off, we will move everybody up. And again, under yellow flag, there does not have to be a roll to fill in the gap. So moving up into the middle group, KJ Nakashima, Aaron Hartley, and Kurt Bryson into 19th place. And again, our pit will take place under yellow, so perfect timing on that. And 3 is going to be the middle group, and doubles, we are going to have a pit violation. So we will do the driver finder first of all and resolve the pit violation. And middle group 23, and 23 in the middle group is going to be driver number 2 odd. So Marlon McGarry there. With the potential pit violation, and with that pit violation, we go to our black flag table, and we'll roll on that, and that is going to be a 2. So a smoking vehicle, and he is going to go to the end of the bottom group. So first we will move everybody up. And in this scenario, I believe you will need to roll to fill in the gap. Walker does not get it. Chris Wynn, no. Justin Mailer, and Mailer hops in there in his first ride of the season. So now we'll go ahead and roll for performance chips, and starting with Sean Hashhagen, he needs a 4, doesn't get it. Plonka, a 7, no. Sonny Swain, a 4, no. Tafaro, a 3, barely misses that. Gave it a good effort. Greco, a 9. Greco will get a performance chip. Corey Wallace, 2, he has a performance chip and he needed a 3, so excellent job by one of our TV drivers. Stu Urich needs a 7, no. Rossi, a 5, no. KJ Nakashima, a 4, and Nakashima with snake eyes, so the much respected Nakashima. 6, Aaron Hartley will get his. Kurt Bryson, no. And finally, Justin Mailer, no. So that concludes our pit turn. Now we need to challenge for the race leader. And that is going to come from the 3rd spot, Gary Pine. So Pine, and he's got it. He's going to jump up into first place ahead of Clark Snook. So Snook led for 5 laps, and Pine is going to be our new leader starting on lap number 28 as we exit the pits here. And this race has been full of carnage, and we're going to have a problem again. So 4 in the second group is the problem check. And that will be a double problem check then, once again. So first off, driver finder. Second group, 26, and 26 is going to be driver 2 even. So Sonny Swain. And 22 again, Sonny Swain will not re-roll that. She will be the only problem check. And Swain, pit crew of C, and again we are in the middle of the race, so her problem is going to be 12. Cooling problem, roll for repair. And Sonny Swain, she is done for the day. So our 8th car collected as the 42 car goes out. And cooling. And that resolves that lap as everybody in the second group moves up. And again, no red flag here, so we will have to roll for the fill the gap, and Ray Bob Walker doesn't get it. Chris Wynn, no. Pete McAtee, Pete's going to come through, and he does, vaults up into 19th place. So Wynn and Walker continue to get passed on opportunities to enter the middle group. And we're heading into lap number 29. And this has been a race of attrition. Second group 11 is going to be trouble, and it ain't over yet, folks. So Mayhem and Havoc are breaking loose here at Gulf Coast Motor Speedway in our fourth race of the season. Hashhagen needs a 6. He's collected. Plonka a 9. He's good. Tafaro a 9. Good. Greco a 9, and he is going to be collected, but able to use a performance chip to avoid trouble. Corey Wallace a 10, good. Uric a 10, barely good. Rossi a 9, and Rossi's collected. KJ Nakashima, he's good. Aaron Hartley, good. Bryson, good. Justin Mailer, good. And finally, Pete McAtee is good. So we will have one turn under yellow. And again, rolling for, we're still in the second phase, fortunately for these two. So C rating for Hashhagen on the trouble results, 6 or better, and Hashhagen survives. And Rossi rolling a 7, and Rossi is done. So Hashhagen to the back. And Rossi is going to finish in 35th place. And again, Duke and Daisy love a good dust up on the track, so they're roaring their approval in the background at Rossi going out. And we now have 10 drivers who have been knocked out of this race. Crazy. This might be challenging Northern Lights Motordome for the toughest track on the circuit. And again, we will be under yellow for turn 30. So no roll needed to move up. Means Ray Bob Walker and Chris Wynn, after a couple of failed attempts, enter our middle group. And on to lap number 31. So 5 is going to be last group. 4 will be a TV check. And I don't think, actually we have McGarry back there. McGarry and Croyle. So 2 TV drivers. So we will start with McGarry here. Looking to move up, and McGarry does not pass the gas pedal check, so he is stuck in the back. And Cam Croyle will go next. Croyle does, and he's going after the 5th spot, even driver, and that is going to be Justin Mailer. And Mailer is not going to be able to do anything with that. He does have a brake burst, but not going to be near enough to fend off Croyle, who jumps back up into the middle group. And another lap in the books. We go to lap 32. And top group doubles. So 6 is going to be the smart check. First we will go for the trouble roll here. And 55 in the top group is going to be our leader, Gary Pine, because it is doubles. 63 on the problem finder check, unscheduled pit stop, unspecified reason, roll for repair. And we are still 2 turns away from being in that final third, so that helps somewhat. His pit crew rating is a B. And middle, that will be a 6 or better. And Pine is collected, and from leading the race to finishing in 34th place, Gary Pine done for the day. And we will just call that an unspecified engine problem for record keeping. And that means our new leader is going to be Julie Justice. Everybody else moves up. And we will now roll to join the top group and then resolve our result here. So Plonka doesn't pass. DeFaro, and that was a 3, way out of bounds, but a 3 nonetheless. So he passes, and we'll fill in the second group after we resolve this challenge. And again here we are looking at a TV challenge. So on that, only Brooks Bilovich is going to have an opportunity to overtake Justice, and Justice need a 5 or better and pass the gas pedal check. Does not happen, so she retains the lead. And we will now move everybody else up. Or actually, I rolled smart. There I go again. That was a smart check. So disregard that, and only Clark Snook is going to have that opportunity. So Snook, and still needs a 5 or better on the blue die, which he gets, but he fails a gas pedal check, so not a changes. Julie Justice is our new leader. And her second time leading the race, she led laps 14 through 17. And we'll take over here on lap number 33. And going to fill in the gap for 19th place, Petrosky needs a 4. And he is good, so he joins the middle group. And we might not have a bottom group by the time this race concludes the way it's going. So on to turn 33. And middle group 4 is going to be a TV check. And again, we have a problem. So 41 in the middle group, and that is going to be the driver number 4 odd. So Cam Croyle, one of our TV drivers, has the problem here. 36, and 36 is going to be vibration, drop to front of bottom group. So it could have been worse. He goes to the third group, but we'll not have to roll for a pair there, and we will roll to replace a 1, so whoever that is, and that is, well, that can't be Cam Croyle. Well, technically, yeah, I guess it could be. So Croyle gets the roll and moves back up into 19th place as he went to the top of that group. And now we will resolve our check, and we have 2 TV drivers. Croyle now is one of them. And Corey Wallace, who has a chip, and passes the gas pedal, going for the second spot. Clark Snook and a 3, but with the brake bonus and his 2 brake bursts, he's going to fight that check off. Corey Wallace tries next, and Wallace, he gets the gas pedal check, and again going for the second group. And would not normally pass, but he has the great equalizer, the performance chip, and Clark Snook, one of the toughest drivers on the circuit, has bounced back to 10th place. And we head into turn 34. And another problem in a duel, actually no, that won't be a problem. Duel, so doubles will go to the feud. Results, we have nobody fuming or feuding here. So the number 4 cars in the middle group will attempt to duel, and Kurt Bryson, he's going to make a run at Joey Plonka up here in 8th place, and Bryson's got it. And Plonka has to roll for trouble. Needs a 9 or better to escape. He does. McAtee, he's going to go after Greco, and he's got it, so Greco now will have to roll for an escape, and he needs a 9 or better. He just barely hangs on, gets sideways a little bit, but straightens it out, and no problems there. And No damage done, so there will be no feuding starting as a result of this. And we move on to lap number 35. Julie Justice still in the lead. And 3 will be second group. 8 is going to be a star check. And I believe that might be our first one of the race here. So Cam Croyle will go first, and Croyle looking to move up now. Going after the 5th spot in the group, and that's Monica Merrick, and she would have 1 bonus plus a star quality. Normally would be a success, but she's going to use one of her 2 performance chips to fight that off. Next up is Chris Wynn, and Wynn going after the 1st position, and Trostel, no way in, you know what he says. Double star for Ray Bob Walker, so he can make a run at the leader here if he gets fortunate. 2 going after the 4th spot, and Jody Pettis, also a star, brake burst, and a bonus, so he's going to be able to fight off the first one and keep his chip. And Walker misses the gas pedal on the 2nd. And it brings us all the way down to Clark Snook, who was just recently bounced from the top group. And going after the 6th spot, Tufaro. Tufaro with the brake burst and the star quality is able to fend him off. Pete McAtee. And McAtee going after Tufaro, who fends him off as well. So going after Chuck, and Chuck is standing up, and he survives a turn in the top group. On to lap 36 we go, and pit stop coming up next turn. 2 and a 7, top group, and we're going to have a skill check. So the skill trait will start with Tufaro. And Julie Justice has skill, her bonus, and her 2 brake bursts, so it's going to take a blue 6 to even have any shot to move up. Monica Merrick. And Merrick fails, but guess what? She will spend her performance chip. And woman to woman, they swap places there. Justice leads through lap 36, and lap 37 will give us a new leader, and it could be Monica Merrick for the first time all season. But Jordy Pettis has a chip and the star quality, so we know that's not going to happen. He fails, but he will spend his performance chip and bounce Monica. There's a lot of action up front now. And that takes us down to Trevor Trostel. Trostel has a double star quality. So Pettis has the bonus, a star, and a brake burst. It's going to take 5 on the blue die. Trostel tries there. He gets fended off. He's coming back to the other side, and Trostel succeeds this time in a great duel up at the top and gives us a new leader as we head into lap 37, which will be a pit stop, and that is Trevor Trostel. So he will have to hold his lead through a pit stop, however. Unless, of course, we roll in the second group. Or actually, it doesn't matter. He gets challenged. So 2 and an 8, and that's going to be top group. And 5 and 3. So Bilovich and Justice switch places. And in the second group, Ray Bob Walker switches places with KJ Nakashima, and Aaron Hartley and Chris Wynn swap. And now we go for performance chips for the top group, starting with Trostel. And Trostel, he always usually gets a performance chip, fast pit of 11. So he's going to have a chip to defend any challenge that comes. Pettis gets his. And Wallace, no dice. 10 for Justice, she gets 1. Merrick, 6, but she gets a performance chip. Bilovic needs an 8, and Bilovich gets 1, and Tufaro needs a 3, and nothing for you, Chucky. So let's get our challenge now for first place as they exit the pits, and that's going to come from Jordy Pettis. And both have a chip. Pettis passes, and we will see if they both use it or retain. Now, if this comes up that they retain their chips, Pettis will pass him. If they both use their chips, Pettis would pass him anyway, because there he'd use his first to defend, his second to succeed or override that. and they're both going to use them, but we have a new leader coming out of the pits, and that is Jordy Pettis. So Pettis, the 17 car, takes over the lead for lap 37. Or, I'm sorry, 38. And we are getting close to the end of this race, coming up on 120 miles to go now. And 3 and a 5, and that's going to be second group. 5 will be a control check. So Control and Cam Croy will kick off this round of challenges. He's trying desperately to get back up amongst the leaders. Passes the gas pedal check, and he is going after Monica Merritt. And she has a bonus and a control, but that's it, so she'll have to use her performance chip to fight that challenge off. Bounce up to Aaron Hartley, who has a chip, and Dick Exum's young protege. He's going after Trostel, and Trostel fights him off. He fails a gas pedal check, but Hartley will spend that chip. And he was in the top 7 briefly last race too, and he is back there again. KJ Nakashima also with a chip. And Nakashima going after Tufaro. He fails a gas pedal check, but he's got a chip to spend, and he will. So Nakashima showing that last race was not a fluke as Greg Greco gets ready to take his turn. And Craig fails the gas pedal check. Joey Plonka. Plonka's got it. He's going after the 3rd spot, Julie Justice, and he does enough. Well, she's got 2. No, he does not. Double control, 2 brake burst, and the bonus, so she gets to keep her chip and fights Plonka off. Next up, Ray Bob Walker. Julie Justice is a tough driver. And Walker going after the third spot again, Julie Justice, and no dice there. Stu Urich, and Urich going after Nakashima, and a 3. So Nakashima, he only has 2 to defend, so his time is short-lived in the top group. He's bounced back to 11th. And Clark Snoop, double control, so he will undoubtedly get in the top group at the very least here. The 4th spot, Monica Urich, and Urich has the bonus and control, but it's only 2. So Snook up to 5th place, and again a double control, so he gets to go for the lead here, going after Jordy Pettis. And he fails the gas pedal check on that, so he has to be content with 5th place. Pete McAtee. McAtee fails the gas pedal check, and finally Kurt Bryson. And Bryson also fails the gas pedal check. So lap 39. And again, some more action amongst our leaders. And top group 10 is Heat, and also a problem. So first we will find the driver to suffer the problem. And top group, that is going to be the second, or the number 2 place, which is Corey Wallace. And 22 on the problem chart is going to be brake problem, roll for repair. And we'll be doing a heat check when that is done. So a D, and we are in the final third of the race. No need to. Corey Wallace, your day is done. So our 11th car is out of the race, and this will be brakes. So everybody will move up first of all, and going for the gas pedal check. Kurt Bryson, Bryson's got it. And we'll fill in the second group after we do our challenge here. So again, the heat challenge up top. And that will start with the feisty Brooks Bilovich going after Jordy Pettis. Pettis also has that trait, so the gas or brake burst, heat, and the brake bonus will need to be a 5 or better. But Bilovich has a chip, and he's going to spend it. So Pettis, his lead is short-lived at 2 laps, and we'll have a new leader for lap 40. This will be the 12th lead change here. Clark Snook, he's got the heat rating. He's going back after the lead. And Snook passes the gas pedal check, and Bilovich is going to be able to fight him off with a trait, a brake burst, and the bonus. And Julie Justice has a chip, and will she need to spend it? She will if she wants to move up, so she does. And Justice in the lead for the 3rd time. And she just has to fend off young Aaron Hartley, who needs a 6 on the blue die, does not get that. So Julie Justice, who's led sporadically, she's led 3 and actually 2 stints of 4 laps. So she is back in the lead for lap number 40 here. And we have 100 miles to go to the finish. And let's fill in the second group. So plenty of drama in this race. This has probably actually easily been the most drama-filled race of the campaign thus far. So Parnell Drake, and he passes his gas pedal and he joins the second group. Out of an ever-dwindling bottom group, on to lap number 40. And 3 is second group, and a 4 is going to be a TV check, and only Cam Croyle has that quality. So Croyle, he's going for the 2nd spot, Brooks Bilovich, and he is going to easily supplant his fellow TV driver there. And we head on to lap 41 now. And another problem. So 3 and a 10. That's going to be a heat check in the second group. So let's do our problem first. War of attrition going on here. 66 in the middle group is going to be driver 6 even. And that's Brooks Bilovich. And he would be our 3rd TV driver to exit if he goes out. And on the problem chart, lost engine out of race. He doesn't even get to roll for a pair. Wow. Brutality. Our 4th driver out with a problem, 2 engines, a cooling problem, and brakes. So Bilovich is going to finish in 32nd in this race. And he is our 3rd, so half of our TV drivers have been knocked out of the race. It was definitely not a blessing to get that trait this week. So rolling on the gas pedal to move up, Jeff Daly, he has a 5 and gets it. And now we have a heat check. So heat, we're going to start with Parnell Drake, and it seems these older veteran guys are the ones who have this trait the most. And going for the 2nd spot, that's going to be Cam Croyle. And 5, Croyle has the heat, a brake burst, and the bonus, but not going to be enough as Parnell Drake vaults up into 3rd place. And Chuck Tafaro. Tafaro, a 1 blue automatically fails. Ray Bob Walker failed on the blue and the red, and that does it. So lap 42 now, and it's getting close, and Justice looks like she is in a good position to take her 2nd win in a row. Top group 5 is going to be a control check, so she'll get challenged here. And Kurt Bryson will be the 1st. So Justice, a double control though, amongst other bonuses. It takes a blue 6 to even have a shot. So Bryson, no. Urich, no. Jordy Pettis, no. Clark Snook has double control, so he'll get 2 cracks at her. And Snook with a 6 and passes the gas pedal check, and we have a new leader. Does not have to use his 2nd check. And it's going to take a 6 to knock him out of there on most rolls as well, or on at least a control. So Parnell Drake does not have it, and Aaron Hartley wouldn't be something if the upstart could bump Snook, but he cannot. So again, a 3-lap stint this time for Julie, and our new leader as of lap 43 will be Clark Snook, and that's the second time he has led in the race. And it looks like we're coming in for a very exciting finish, folks. And last group, 11, is going to be trouble. So if we needed any more of that, here we go. Yikes, Hashhagen needs a 6. He's good. Marlon McGarry, an 8, does not get it, so we would lose our 4th TV driver potentially. 7 for Kevin Pettis, he's good. 7 for Montana, good. 9 for Mailer, good. Austin Bigler, 11, he should be fine. He is. Denny Baker, an 8. Baker's good. Fenstemacher has been running a very discreet and quiet race, just hoping to hang on and get points because everyone else is crashing or developing problems. Marty Moan in the same situation, he's good. Him getting collected there would have undoubtedly ended his day for sure. So only one, and we will have one yellow turn, or one yellow flag turn, and it will come within three laps of the final pit stop. So we'll resolve that after we see what Mr. McGarry's fate is here. So pit group of A, and on the last middle third, 1 to 6 minus the 1 for the track adjustment. So he needs a 5 or better to stay in the race, and McGarry is done. So our 12th driver and 4th of the TV variety is collected, and we are running a bare bones race here. So absolutely crazy. So that puts us in a yellow, and turn 44, that is within, actually that's not within 3, I'm sorry. So she cannot declare pit stop. So turn 44 here, and that is going to be a duel, and 6 and 5. 11, number 3 cars in middle group. So there we have Plonka and Wynn, and Plonka, I don't know, I'd want to challenge the way this race is going, but he's going to go after McAtee anyway. And Chris Wynn already says, I'm not taking my challenge. So he is fought off by McAtee, and he has to make an escape roll now, and he does so. So on to turn 45. And second group, 6 will be a smart check. And smart driving is a thing we have not seen a lot of in this race with all the problems. So Cam Croyle and a roll of blue 1 automatically will fail going into the top group. Craig Greco. And Greco, he's going after Kurt Bryson, and he passes a gas pedal check, and 5. That's going to get it done. So Bryson bounced back to the middle group, and Greco back up in the top 7. Chris Wynn, and Wynn will need a 3 or better. He does not get the gas pedal check. KJ Nakashima, a very smart driver, and 6, he fails the gas pedal check. And finally, Pete McAtee will be our final challenge here, and he fails the gas pedal check. So turn 46, and we are coming up to the home stretch, folks. And it's going to be top group and a control check. So control, and Greco going after Snook. Snook is going to be tough here. Double control, bonus, 2 brake burst. You're going to need a 6 on the blue die to even have a shot. And there is a shot. Wow. So Stu Urich gets the 4. He is good and rolls a 6. So he's going to bounce Snook out of first place. So Snook leads up to lap 46, and we will have a new leader on lap 47. Will it be Urich? And Jordy Pettis. And for Urich, he's got the 2 brake burst control and the bonus, so also a 6 to knock him out of first place. Julie Justice is going to have 2 cracks at it, fails the first just barely. And on the second, she fails a gas pedal checker. She would have had him. They're swapping paint, and Urich fights her off. Exciting duel there, and that takes us down to Aaron Hartley. And can he get Urich napping? No, he cannot. So Stu Urich has the lead now. And that is his second stint up top. He led laps 12 and 13. So now leading on lap 47, which is going to be a pit lap. So he will have a challenge there as well. And this is our final pit stop. And just a reminder, on the final one, a last pit turn roll of 5 is going to be both the top and middle group. We will not go, oh, hold on. A quick timeout, oh. No, I'm sorry, that's a last turn if a 5 is rolled, last turn of the race. Both top groups get to go. So never mind on that. And 6. And 6 on the pit stop is going to be TV drivers and leader if a TV driver. So we only have 2 TV drivers left. So first off, we will do our switching 3rd and 5th place, or the 3rd and 5th spots, Snook and Justice. And in the second group, 3 and 5, Petrosky and Trostel jump up over Wynn and Plonka. So only our TV drivers get to roll for a fast pit, and that is Justice and Croyle. Justice has a chip, and you know that's going to come in big now. And so does Croyle. That chip right there could be the determining factor of the race. So we're going to come out of the pit, and we're going to see who's going to challenge, and it's going to be Aaron Hartley of all people. So he needs a 4 or better, doesn't get it. So Urich holds him off coming out of the pit, and we have 30 miles to go here. We are in lap number 48. And that chip on Julie Justice looms large as we come down the home stretch, and it's the top group, going to be the star quality, which Urich has. And she will be the first to test Stu Urich, and we know she's going to be up there regardless. If she can do it without losing the chip, it would be huge. So he has the 2 brake burst in the bonus. She's going to have to use the chip, but she is up in the lead again. So Urich only lasts 2 laps, and we will have a new leader on lap 49. And Justice, that would be her 4th stint in the lead if she can hang on here. So Jordy Pettis has a star quality, and to take over Justice's spot, is going to take a 6 on the blue die. He can't do it. Snook gets a 6, but in the wrong place, fails the gas pedal check. Drake, no, and Aaron Hartley does not have the quality. So Julie Justice putting that performance chip to work, and we are on lap 49. We're coming down the home stretch here. And it is going to be the first group, and it's going to be a problem. So in this case, a double problem. And 3 is going to be Clark Snook. So Snook, yikes. 25 on the problem finder chart is a cooling problem roll for repair. He has an A pit crew, but in the final third, he's going to need a roll of 6. And Snook gets it. But what we have been doing when they have to roll for repair It means he goes to the back of the race, so he's not going to be a factor in this one. And rolling for the second problem. 1 actually will be Aaron Hartley. So Hartley, and that's a 13. Way wide there on that toss. Multiple problems, unable to continue. So, I don't quite know what that means, but things just went foobar on his car, I guess. Wow, so 3, and his car just turned into a complete cluster. So he finishes 30th, and this race has just been brutal on people. So that will move everybody up. And we will roll to fill in the gaps. McAtee doesn't get it. Monica Merrick, she's up there into 6th place. KJ Nakashima, no. Ray Bob Walker, will the veteran get it? He does. And now, filling in the gaps from the back will be Graham Pleasant. Marty Moan, no. Randy Kendrick, yep. And look at Clark Snook in, well, 29th place. I was going to say last place, but we've lost so many drivers. He is in last place. All right, this is it. We are set up for the final lap. So let's see what happens here. Julie Justice is in a great position to hang on and win this. Her second win in a row this would be. And I do not see, it's going to pretty much take a 6 to supplant her on any roll except a smart check. If they even get the opportunity, and it's going to be the second group, so no one's going to get the opportunity here. A 9 is going to be the reflex. And unless someone has double reflex in this group, there will be no opportunity to overtake Justice, so she is going to cruise home, but we still have a lot to settle here. As Pleasant, and Pleasant misses the gas pedal check. Jeff Daly Jr. misses his. Cam Croyle, and he's got that chip, and he's going to be good without it. Really doesn't do him any good to maintain at this point, but he takes over 5th place for Monica Merrick. So that'll be a boost to the points for him. Joey Plonka needs a 4, and he's got that, and going for the 5th spot, and that's where Cam Croyle just went to. Croyle with a 3, so he's going to have to use his chip to fight him off, so that chip did come in handy. Never mind, never bad to have a performance chip as Robbie Petrosky. Petrosky going after Parnell Drake, and Drake has the bonus, and that is it. Oh, hand reflex, but that's only 2. So Petrosky, a big move up to 2nd place, and that's going to make his team happy. Trevor Trostel, and Trostel gets the gas pedal check. He's going after Jordy Pettis there, and a 5, and Pettis is not going to be able to defend that. So lots of movement up front. Justice will not be challenged as a winner, but we've got some movement in the top 5, and this one is over. The checkered flag comes down, and Justice comfortably over the finish line. She led 4 different times during this race, never for more than 4 laps, but again leading on the last 2, the most important 2, and Julie Justice is the winner. She takes the Gulf Oil 500 in a very, very exciting race. It was full of drama and much attrition. So Julie Justice, her 2nd win in a row, and she will definitely take the lead in the point standings, I would imagine. Coming in 2nd place, Robbie Petrosky, who used a great move to slide in there on the very last lap. Trevor Trostel in 3rd. Stu Urich in 4th. Craig Greco under the radar with a 5th place finish. Cam Croyle in 6th. And the veteran Ray Bob Walker. So lots of familiar names in terms of at least success in the top 7 this week. And Clark Snook ran into some problems on that last lap and ended up relegated to 29th place. So that does it here from Gulf Coast Motor Speedway. Thank you for watching. And next week, just so you know, obviously Julie Justice is the race winner, will be a TV driver once again. And my buddy Mooch Thomas. Mooch Thomas is 0 for 4. And that's a human interest story because America loves the underdog, damn it. So Mooch Thomas, he's going to be a TV driver next week along with Julie Justice as they chronicle his attempts to hang on with limited funds and an aging body and stay relevant on the Scram Tour and Circuit 2018. Seems like Mooch has been racing since 1918. So that's it from Gulf Coast Motor Speedway. This is Anthony. Again, thank you very much for watching. Please feel free to leave comments. Please hit the like button. And anything you'd like to see on the channel, let me know. And with that, keep rolling for the finish line and have a great day, everyone.